guys, Adam here, welcome to the cave. So something I've been thinking of doing for a little while now is some maintenance videos for some of the components on the SCA-1E range, because as we all know, driving's only part of the adventure, looking after them is the other. I thought I'd start with the stock shock absorbers which you get on all of the range. So you've got the Range Rover, the Lynx, the F-150, the Coyote. The only difference is the Coyote kit, which comes with the aluminium version of these. I'll show you how to remove them from the vehicle, what sort of tools you'll need, strip them down, lubricating the seals, replacing the oils, and then refitting it back to the vehicle. If this is something that people find useful, I might consider doing it for some of the other components on the truck as well, like stripping down the axles, showing how to lubricate, replace the bearings, motor replacements, pinion replacements, that sort of thing. So yeah, let's strip it down, have a look what it's all about. Okay, let's get into it. Alright, first things first, get your body off, set it to one side, and get the wheel off using a 7mm nut driver. Your SCA-1E RTR will come with a plastic multi-tool which you can use for this. Set the wheel one side, get the axle stand under there, because we all know scale points is what we're after. Using a 2mm hex driver, remove the lower chock bolt, which also holds the lower link on, and the same again for the upper one, where it attaches to the shock mount. And it is as simple as that to get them off. There he is. Let's strip them down. Okay, so what have I got here then? A bit of tissue for laying out your components when you strip them down. A bit of tissue for your fingers. Obligatory wet wipe. You're going to get covered in oil, no whatever way you look at it. Something to catch the old oil in. I'm just using a lid of an old spray can. Shock oil. For this, I'll be using 350 CPS silicone shock oil. Works out roughly around 35 weight oil. And a good shock O-ring grease for lubricating the shaft seals. So right, let's tear into it. First of all, you're going to want to take the cap from the top of the shock absorber off, which is where the oil reservoir is, just a screw fit. Take him off and set him to one side, like that. And you want to pour out your oil into whatever vessel you've chosen for this. Now, if you pinch the spring down and remove the lower cup, it just slides off like that. Set him to one side, off comes the spring, set him to one side. Already made a mess of my fingers. So, mop up any excess with the tissue. Now there is special tools you can get for clamping the shock shafts, for undoing this ball joint on the end. What I tend to use is some small short needle nose pliers. Grab the lowest part of the shaft and give it a twist, and that gets it going. My theory behind grabbing the lowest part of the shaft is that that is the area that is least likely to go up into the seals and possibly cause any damage. Set that part to one side. From there, push your shock shaft straight out through the top of the body, and out it comes. And you can see there is your shock shaft, and there is your piston. And you see these holes in the top of the piston itself. They can actually be used as a way of tuning the shock absorber action. They're a fairly good size as they are here. I'm not sure exactly what size they are. Probably about 1mm. And there's 4 of them. You could go bigger, which is going to increase the amount of oil that can flow through them, which will give you a faster action. Another way you can do that is by using a thinner oil, so that it can flow through quicker, because it's not as thick. but we're going to leave them that size today. Give it a wipe up. Set that to one side. There is your main body of your shock absorber, your oil reservoir. On there you've got your preload adjustment ring. Good way of getting rid of the torque twist. Further down you have it, the more tension or preload you have on your spring, which then makes it stiffer or looser if you wind it back off. If you're having problems with torque twist, you can adjust these down to make the spring tension tighter on the side that's dipping as you're driving the vehicle, and that can help to stabilise things and keep things level during driving. Worth experimenting with. You can almost eliminate all of the torque twist that way. So next up, unscrew the lower shock cap, which is where your shock shaft seals are held. Set that to one side. Now there'll be a little washer in there first. Just going to pick him out. Pretty small components here. You can see them there. I always find it best to lay bits out in the order that they come out in. So pick out the O-ring, like that. And there's another washer which goes between the two O-rings. And then there's the last O-ring in there, like that. And that is it, fully stripped down. Use your tissue to mop up any of the oil. Like that. There we go, fully stripped.